Good morning. It's such a nice, fresh day to go on a ride. Let's get some gas right now. Then I'm gonna go visit a friend who I haven't seen in a long time at Revved Up Coffee. All right, time to get the show on the road. Ooh, it's getting a little warm. Kind of regretting wearing the sweater right now, but it might be chilly on the highway. The mornings have been a little chilly, which is weird because last week was a heat wave. But I love this brisk weather. Oh, yeah. Today I'm changing the engine oil, and it's one of the things that I enjoy doing on my motorcycle. I've never really been like that much of a handyman. Working with tools and working on something mechanical like your car or your motorcycle just seemed like an intimidating task and something that you don't want to do wrong. But since owning a motorcycle and tinkering with my bike, you guys have seen me do install videos and little things that are easy to put on by yourself. Like those things helped me take on bigger projects and build more confidence in doing things on my own and being self-sufficient. And one thing I value a lot as I'm getting older is my time. And I used to take my bike and my car to the dealership all the time to get the service. And, something for like an oil change and to change your fluids can take all day. You're just sitting there, you know, at the dealership, and they're probably trying to convince you to trade in your bike to get something else. So I just started to value my time more and realized that changing my own oil is actually a time saver. It's fun. You get to learn new tools and how to use them, and you come to appreciate your motorcycle more as you understand how it works and how to maintain it yourself. And I really admire people who are self-sufficient and are able to figure things out. Like my buddy Brian, he's taught me so much about my motorcycle. He's changed the risers for me. He did my stage 2, my cruise control install, my tires, and seeing him go to work and seeing his methods really have inspired me to learn more about my motorcycle and be more confident when it comes to maintenance. The last thing Brian showed me how to do was to change and balance my tires. I probably still can't do that on my own, but at least I have all the footage to reference.
There? Yeah. Right there. Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So let's roll it, we'll see what it does. Honestly, this takes the longest.
Yeah. I signed up for this VIP thing at Huntington Beach Harley Davidson where I was supposed to get free tires for life, but they pulled a fast one on me. When I went in, my tires were super worn out and they didn't want to honor that deal that I paid for. So that was another time waster. I made an appointment the night before. I got up all early to get there before everyone else, even though I had an appointment, because even when you have an appointment there, if you don't get there early, you're gonna be sitting there all day. So told Brian about the situation, and he said, yo, I got everything you need, bring it over here and I'll show you how to do it. And that's what went down. And not only did I learn how to change my own tires, kind of, but honestly it probably took less time than it would have had I taken it to the dealership, and you're at the comfort of your own house and stuff like that. So that's definitely not a job I would have been confident in doing on my own. And, you know, it's been several thousand miles since that job, and the tires haven't fallen off. So I say Brian did some stellar work there. Today I'll be changing the oil because I want to do a nice little ride on Sunday, and I want to make sure that, you know, everything's good. It's better to change it as often as needed, you know. Cost about 80 bucks to get everything. I got 5 quarts because you need about 4.5, and a new oil filter. So yeah, cost me like 80 something bucks to get the materials. Changing the motorcycle oil is probably one of the easiest things you can do. I think it's still you know, it's still rewarding being able to do that. And yeah, if you haven't tried it, I would definitely try it. All the instructions are in the user manual. There's tons of YouTube videos on it. Owning a motorcycle has really helped me out when it comes to mechanical things and learning how to do things myself. I'm more comfortable with different tools now and how the motorcycle works just from, you know, working on it on my own. And, you know, it can seem like it can be nerve-wracking, especially if you have a new motorcycle. You probably want to just have the dealership work on it, but, you know, for a lot of the basic stuff, you can do a great job, and you can do it on your own. I've had to do a lot of things since being a motorcycle rider. I've jump-started my motorcycle several times. I've had to plug my tires because of a flat. I've hooked up different electronics and stuff. Owning a motorcycle has really taught me how to be more self-sufficient. And if I were to buy a motorcycle again, honestly, I'd probably get a used motorcycle just so I can, like, you know, fix it up. Wow, 45,000 miles. We're almost at 50. We're going for 100 here. 100,000 miles on a 2020 Lowrider S. At this rate, it'll take me until 2028. Been some massive fires around here. Albert, haven't seen this dude in like a decade. It's time to change the oil. Brand new oil filter. We are going to need about 4.5 of these. I just used a 20W50 non-synthetic. So the first thing you need to do to change your oil is to get it at operating temperature. So good thing I just went on a ride. This thing's ready to go. So I'm gonna drain the oil. And this is why this is not a how-to video. If you recall, I'm supposed to be changing the motor oil, and I'm about to unscrew the transmission oil plug.
No! 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 No!
At this point, I knew something was wrong. This was way too liquidy, and it had a weird smell, and it was red. I couldn't believe it. I spent all night and all day preparing for this oil change, and I even thought to myself, maybe I should check out the owner's manual and make sure I'm taking off the right plug. As the transmission oil sputtered into the drain pan, I thought to myself, I'm done with this shit.
I was ready to call the tow truck and have this bike taken to Mitsu at Bartell's Harley Davidson, where he'll do a proper job. Actually, I just went back into the house, grabbed myself a nice cold Coca-Cola and the owner's manual, and remembered that I had some transmission oil left over. And after all, this is a video about being self-sufficient, right? So for today's service, we're getting the 2-for-1 special. But let's get back to the original plan and change that motor oil. Now that's what motor oil looks like. And don't be like me and forget to remove the dipstick. Once you remove the dipstick, get a nice flow like this. At this point, this should be a how not to change your oil video. All that stuff I was saying about how an oil change was easy, I forgot to remove the orange little screw thing in the corner over there on this drain pan, and now the oil is about to spill over. There we go, much better.
Here is the plug, drain plug over here, and it has a magnet here to catch any like metal flakes, and luckily there wasn't much to clean up here. And you know, you can change the O-ring. O-ring still looks good, but it's always recommended to change the O-ring. This one still looks okay, so we're just gonna keep it, but that's the drain plug. So the next thing we have to do is change that oil filter. And it's always a challenge to get this out without making a mess all over the place. You know, I bought this one tool, but it rarely works. This always seems to make a mess. And you also need a special tool to get this oil filter off. A mess, as usual. Okay, so the engine oil is pretty much done draining, and we have our brand new black oil filter. You can get these in black or chrome. Brand spanking new. There she is. Boom, boom. And it's recommended that you add a little bit of your motor oil to edge over here to get it some lubrication. And lube her up. Okay, and the cool thing about installing this is you won't need the oil filter tool anymore. You're just gonna want to hand tighten this. Pretty much as tight as you can get it. And it'll tighten itself once you start the bike. The pressure will suck it on there, I believe, is the science behind it. All right, pretty much as tight as I can get it. Now it's time to add oil. We're gonna start with 4 quarts. This bike takes around 4.5, but we'll start with 4, and then we'll start the bike and check the levels and see if it needs more, and then add it slowly to get it up to the right levels on the dipstick. So I've already installed the drain plug. The manual will give you the recommended torque you'd want to torque that down to. I think it's between 14 pounds and 21 pounds or something like that. Probably recommended you use a funnel for this, but we're just freehanding it. All right, the last one.
We're pretty much done with changing the motor oil. Now we have to get access to the transmission oil dipstick with some Allen wrenches. Make sure to check out the manual, and one of these bottles should be enough because we only need 28 ounces. That was a used bottle, so there wasn't much left in there. Today was a great example of how motorcycles taught me to be more self-sufficient. And as you can see, there's still a lot that I need to learn. Now I don't have to worry about my motor oil or my transmission oil. Don't forget to check for leaks, and after you run your engine for a while, check the fluids again to see if you need to add more. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content. Until next time, ride safe. Peace.